Alrighty. Today we're going to be comparing our 6.7 Cummins to 6.7 Powerstroke and see how we like it. Alright, so we're going to reset our trip A. As you can see, the time's just reset. We've got our truck set on tune 2, which is a tow tune. And we're going to see how we like this thing for the day. Done a little job helping Farmer John out today as a goodwill gesture, so figured what a good day to get this truck out and use it for some towing. Alright, for you, those of you that don't know, the reason why we're doing this today is I run two 6.7 Cummins in my Hotshot fleet. One's an 08 with some parts missing, and one's an 18 that's all stock. So I figured we'd do a little comparison today. Both of those trucks were hooked to trailers, and we had the 2011 F350, which has parts missing off of it. And this truck currently has 121,000 miles and roughly around 90 to 95,000 miles. It actually had a brand new long block put in it. It had a hole in the block, and it got replaced. And probably around 115,000-ish miles. It also got a brand new turbo. So let's see how it does today. We're gonna see how it does fuel mileage. We're gonna be pulling some mountains, and we're also gonna be on the highway. So we'll see. This will be a good test to see how I like it, and maybe influence me for future purchases. So before we get into the real comparison type stuff today, I really need to get an edge monitor in my regular trucks. There's a reason I like these so much, and we'll explain here in just a second. So the reason I like those edge monitors so much is you can set your parameters as to where you'll be alerted if there's something going on. Oil temp gets high, coolant temp's too high, trans temp's too high, EGTs, whatever it may be. So if you guys are like me that do Hotshot for a living, when you're on a long haul, you get so comfortable and in the zone of you're listening to like a good podcast, or you're listening to your music, and you're not necessarily paying attention to the gauges the whole time. So if something were to happen and the factory settings don't alert you, having something like an edge monitor can really help out. So I think I'm going to get one put in first in the mega cab, and then get one for the single cab. Don't you work too hard now. You either, okay? Stay right here. I'm picking up a bunch of these 2-row planters. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. And we're in a Ford. Alright. So, big John Deere guy here. We've got 4 2-row planters. Go potty, buddy. Here on the trailer. Not a bad load. Had some help. Hey, stay here. Stay here. Had some help strapping everything down, so we were in and out pretty quickly. The guy does this for a living, so gave me a hand. It was nice. Alright, so sorry if there's any wind noise. We're actually right on this, I guess this would be considered a lake. I don't know. Ooh, look at those hands. Summer Hill, PA. Got the Ford here. It's a load of 2-row planters. Truck looking good. Load looking good. And one thing that I really like about this truck is obviously the look and the interior comfort. But that's not really what we're really here to talk about today. It's the overall power and towing ability from a 6.7 Powerstroke to a 6.7 Cummins. amount of stuff that this place has. Jeez. If it ain't here, it ain't anywhere for older used equipment. Just every brand that you can imagine. It's a Hotshot here. I don't know what necessarily he's doing. But look, I mean, just look at the amount of wheels out there. Unbelievable. That's one way to get them off, I guess. Alright, so we're on our way to drop off, and I'm not going to blab too long about this, but I do want to tell my main differences that I see in this truck compared to my 6.7 Rams. Alright, so the Rams 6.7 Cummins has a lot more low-end torque. Right now behind us, I've probably got somewhere around 15,000 pounds. Not too heavy, but also not too light. Trailer's probably 7,000-ish. I think it's 7,200. And then we got about 8,000 pounds of two-row corn planters on there. Not very aerodynamic either. And we're running about 68 miles an hour right now. But from a dead stop, the Ram, and I have two different Rams, so let's compare the two different Rams and the Ford. From a dead stop, the Cummins has more torque. It's evident getting off the line, and just at very slow speed, it has more torque. Now, the 6.7 Cummins with the Ace transmission, yes, has more torque, but acts just like this Ford as it clicks through the gears, getting up to speed. 68 RFE, you guys know, they're not the best. Sometimes they pick and choose what they want to do, but knock on wood, mine's been good. So once you get this truck, the 6.7 Powerstroke, up to, I say about 40 miles an hour, it's smooth as can be. Power band is right there. Sometimes you have to look down and see how fast you're going. That's how smooth it is. Now the Cummins has more little more drone to it, a little more grunt, and you can kind of feel more of the speed that you're going. There's a big difference at 70 miles an hour in that truck and this truck. Other than that, we'll compare a few things like the transmission. I like the way this truck, being a 2011, just clicks through the gears, getting up to speed. Now, I've heard really good things, and I've driven the 10-speed Ford. I've heard good things about people liking them, acting to get up to speed quicker like a Cummins does. Now, they're not proven to be very good. I don't know if you guys just saw that nice cab over that passed us. They're known to not be very reliable, but that's a different story for a different day. Other than that, fuel economy. Let's talk about that real quick. So my truck, my 2018 that is not deleted or anything, right now would be doing, I would say, between 8 and 9 miles to the gallon for the day. From the mountains we went up into to now being on the highway. I'm at 261 miles currently. We use 19.9 gallons of diesel and roughly about 13 miles to the gallon. If we put up two trucks that are both deleted, being this Powerstroke and my 08 Cummins that's deleted, fuel economy is probably about the same. I think this truck's probably doing a little better. I want to say the Cummins probably would have got 11 to 12, and this one's doing 13 for the whole day so far. So I may check back in at the end of the day and see where this thing is, because the rest of the day is straight highway. Some of the day was those mountains that were pretty treacherous, which took me a little while to get in and a little while to get out. But I said I wouldn't blab too long, so let's get these. We're about an hour from drop off. We're getting dropped off, and we'll see what our final numbers for the. All right, so on the truck for 435 miles, we did 13.2 miles to the gallon. Oh, sorry, just got out of the shower. I was covered in grease. Anyways, so before I had to fill up. So before I filled up, the truck says 13.2. Hand calculated before that, it was 13.3 miles to the gallon. So it's probably a little bit better than what the Mega Cab would do. So if the truck lacks on power off the line but cruises great at highway speed, to get 13.2 miles to the gallon or 13.3 is pretty good. You know, depending on what gear ratio you have in these trucks. You know, the bigger the truck you get, the 450 or the 35, I mean the 45 or 5500 gear ratio makes a big difference. See guys getting 8, 9, 6, 7 miles to the gallon depending on what setup they have. But just wanted to share that bit of information with you. Would I buy one of these? Absolutely. I love the Ford, but it's just that working on it once it gets out of warranty thing that really scares me. So much easier to work on a Cummins than it is a Powerstroke or a Duramax. So I'm just gonna stick to my Cummins. See you guys on the next one.